It gives me great pleasure to join you today for the official commissioning of Phase 2 development of Umma University. This is a proud moment for all of us, as it represents not just the growth of one institution, but the remarkable journey of our nation in expanding access to higher education. I recall with fondness my association with this university before it became what it is today. From its humble beginnings as a college of Sharia and Islamic studies in Thika, for its transformation into a full-fledged university in 2014, where I had again the privilege of opening Phase 1 here in Kajiado. Umma has grown steadily, anchored on clear vision of academic excellence. And I want to say congratulations. Today, with the completion of this 10-story building, an investment of more than 1.4 billion, we see yet another bold step forward. This modern facility, designed to serve over 10,000 students, including 81 classrooms, 6 laboratories, and a 650-seater examination hall, a conference center, and a 416-seat auditorium, and much more. It is a symbol of ambition, resilience, and a deep commitment to nurturing future generations. Ladies and gentlemen, Kenya has made enormous strides in expanding access to higher education. Today, our country boasts 80 chartered universities, 30 of which are privately owned, and one of them being this great Umma University. Nearly 150,000 students are enrolled in private universities, representing about 23% of the entire university population. This underlines the critical role that private universities continue to play in complementing government efforts in education. Over the past 3 years, we have been compelled to undertake bold and far-reaching reforms to safeguard the sustainability of our universities and higher education in general. Not long ago, the subsector was in a serious crisis, with 23 out of the 40 public universities sinking into technical insolvency, threatening not only their stability, but also the future of thousands of students. I have heard you very clearly, Mr. Chancellor, that we owe you some money. And it is because we had a system that I had to take the decision to stop of sending students to private universities when we didn't have the money to pay for them. And we accumulated debts in our public and private universities to the tune of 120 billion. Just imagine. And it sunk many universities. A university in this county, no, in actually Machakos County, was actually closed. Scott Theological College University, sponsored by my church, the church I go to. We had to step in to go and salvage it from closure. Closed for a year. And many other universities suffered. Public universities, as I have told you, 23 of them were technically insolvent. They could neither pay their staff, nor their suppliers, nor even pay as you earn, or even other deductions, including that time NHIF. And I apologize to Umma University that we sent students here as government of Kenya several years ago without having proper arrangements on how they will be trained and educated. Ever since I came into office, I have not sent any students here. Because until I have the money to pay for them, I will not send you any students. And I'm just figuring out how to pay the debts that you have told. And you are not the only one. I have, as I told you, the government of Kenya owes different universities to the tune of 120 billion. In fact, some of the universities are in serious dire straits. Through decisive action, we strengthened governance in our universities, restructured financing, and introduced the student-centered funding model, a game changer for higher education. Scholarships and loans are now awarded on the basis of need, ensuring fairness and equal opportunity for all Kenyan learners. University fees have been reduced significantly. Students now pay between 5,800 and 75,000 a semester, depending on their ability and program of study. University funding has nearly doubled, raising from 45 billion in 2022-2023 to 82 billion in this year's budget, while help loans have more than doubled from 17 billion to 41 billion. In general, we have enhanced the budget for education in the last 3 years by about 130 billion shillings. And it is because we believe that any nation, especially one like Kenya, where human capital is at the heart of transformation, must get its education right. It is the reason why we are deploying more resources to make sure that our education remains of good quality, accessible, and relevant. And that is the reason why we've hired more teachers, we've put more money in Higher Education Loans Board, and we have put more money in university funding. Already, nearly 470,000 students have benefited from scholarships and loans. The reforms have also restored financial stability, reducing the number of technically insolvent universities from 23 to 13, and even the 13, we are working with them so that in the next 2 years, we get all our universities out of the red corner. Public universities equally have been very supportive. They have raised 11 billion shillings through diversified revenue streams and saved 1 billion shillings through cost-cutting measures. So everybody now is sensitive about where the money comes from and how it is spent. And that is why we will continue to make sure that integrity becomes front, center, left, and right in matters of financial management. It is the reason why we are changing our procurement mechanism so that we stop theft, pilferage, and corruption that has pervaded our procurement and made it an enterprise for making money and not providing service. It is the reason why we insist, and I have made myself very clear, that e-procurement is going to cut our costs by up to 40%. I have discussed this with many other governments. In fact, the government of Indonesia worked with us on the program that we have, so that if a pencil costs 5 shillings, government does not pay 15 shillings. Government should pay 5 shillings, because that is what it is. And I know there are teething problems which we are working on to make sure that e-procurement becomes the default procurement mechanism. That is the procurement mechanism of the government of Kenya. We will streamline the teething problems. We know there is also resistance by the brokers and the agents and many other profiteering entities, but we are going to stand up to them because it is our responsibility to protect public resources. The same way I just heard in this university that the resources made available to this university is spent with integrity. That is the measure of any success. Alongside university reforms, our technical vocational education and training system has undergone extraordinary transformation. Enrollment has grown more than double from 297,000 in 2022 to 718,000 this year, driven by supportive policies and aggressive awareness campaigns. We have expanded national polytechnics from 11 to 29 today, greatly strengthening our skills training capacity. At the same time, the recognition of prior learning policy launched in 2024 has already assessed 6,734 candidates, with 898 graduating at the launch. To deliver quality training, we have increased trainer recruitment at our TVETs from 7,000 to 10,000. We've hired 3,000 new trainers, and we are in the process of hiring another 5,000. Industry partnerships have also surged because industry told us that they want job-ready graduates from our technical training colleges. And for them to be job-ready, they must have practical experience. Where now we had 65 industry players that were working with us. Now we have 2,883 because we want more of our trainers to leave campus, to leave their colleges when they already have a feel and an experience of what happens in the real world, in industries and manufacturing entities, embedding practical, hands-on experience in our training programs. These achievements demonstrate that TVET is now firmly at the heart of Kenya's transformation, equipping young people with practical skills to innovate, create jobs, and drive economic development. Ladies and gentlemen, the process we celebrate nationally, the progress we celebrate nationally, finds full expression here at Umma University. With the support of our partners, the government of Kuwait, and the Direct Aid Society, this institution has been able to expand its facilities and strengthen capacity to serve thousands of young Kenyans. I was privileged to meet some of them this morning, and I was very proud of their confidence and their grasp of issues that they are learning in this university. I met Nura and Mwenda. Nura explained to us what we can improve on the facilities and the digitization we have done with our universal health coverage, the Taifa Care under SHA. And she had brilliant ideas on how that digital framework we can improve on the last mile so that it can get to ordinary people who may not even have smartphones. Nura and your team here, congratulations, continue. We will work together with you going into the future. And I am very confident that Honorable Duale will have some space to discuss with you how what you're doing here can dovetail into the success we want to build out of our universal health care coverage. And maybe use this occasion to the defense of my former boss, the former president, to defend him that we should be a bit magnanimous to him. He did time, led our country, and the Linda Mama program was a great program. We developed it under the Jubilee administration, under the leadership of President Uhuru. We learned a lot from the Linda Mama program. And because of the experiences, because of the lessons learned from the Linda Mama program, we designed the Linda Jamii program, which was an improvement from the Linda Mama program. So Linda Mama was good. Linda Jamii is obviously better. And therefore, it is an improvement from what it was in terms of the scope, from just delivery of mothers, which was the primary target of Linda Mama. We've now improved it to cover prenatal, before the delivery, postnatal, the delivery itself, postnatal, and it's no longer targeting Mama. It is targeting Jamii, Mama plus the children plus the household. The figures have also increased in terms of benefits. Actually, the figures have doubled from between 2,000 and 2,500 to now 10,000 to 30,000. So we have enhanced the program, but we must accept that we learned the lessons from Linda Mama. That's why we designed a better Linda Jamii program. And we didn't stop at Linda Jamii. We have progressed it into universal health coverage, where we are now looking after the whole Kenyan community. And that is why the figures Aden Duale was saying, of 7 million beneficiaries to now 26.5 million beneficiaries, has become a reality because we are progressing from there. And therefore, Nora was very spot on as she told us about what to do with universal health coverage. I also met some gentleman called Mwenda. I think he was called Mwenda, somebody. And Mwenda explained to me what he thinks about affordable housing. Again, another flagship program that I believe in, because we've danced for too long around mediocrity. And it is time to elevate our standing as a nation. And he explained to us how the last mile of affordable housing can be worked on. And again, brilliant ideas on how we can, get our nation and focus on what kind of urbanization are we going to see in the future. Because urbanization is an imperative. In fact, globally, it is now documented that by 2050, half the population of the world will be living in cities. And urbanization is even higher in Kenya than the global average, which means in Kenya, we will be having anywhere between 55 and 60% of citizens living in cities by 2050. It is up to us today to decide what kind of cities are they coming to stay in. Are they coming to live in slums, or are they going to come to live in organized households and livable cities? And that is why we are embarking on this program. And let me confirm that the good people I interacted with in this university, including Zainab. Zainab explained to us a few things about the economy, political issues that affect the economy. And I think she was called Agfa. She told us, I think, Gatra. She explained to us about the economic issues that, affect investment, affect business, from interest rates to exchange rates to the modes of taxation and many other things. And I must say to Umma University, congratulations. You have some of the most bright young Kenyans here, and you are doing a good job mentoring them and training them. The partnership between our supporters and our sponsors is a powerful demonstration of solidarity whose impact will be felt for generations to come. As we commission this new building, we are not just opening classrooms and offices. We are opening doors of opportunity. Today, we have also laid the foundation for phase 2, which will house the School of Engineering with 7 specialized programs, additional student housing, a medical school, and a teaching and referral hospital further down the road. I'm saying this so that the donors can see where we want this institution to go. And we are going to be your partners. As Kenya implements the bottom-up economic transformation agenda, our universities and TVETs will continue to play a central role in producing skilled, ethical, and innovative graduates ready to create jobs, drive technology, and tackle the pressing challenges of our time. In conclusion, I congratulate the Umma University for this milestone. And before I tell you what kind of support we are going to work on, looking at the transformation of Umma University. And this is not the only university that I have come several times to support morally, sometimes financially. Last year, I went to Scott University, the one I told you that is sponsored by the Africa Inland Church. Last week, I was in Eastern University, sponsored by ABC Church. And today I'm here at Umma University. And I see the passion, I see the restlessness of the young people in Kenya as they look for education, as they look for knowledge, as they look for training. And it is the most perfect expression of what we need and a perfect reminder for us as policymakers and leaders. It is very important that at this point in time, we must have a reflection. In fact, it is an inflection point for us as Kenya. We must ask ourselves questions. Because just across, right here in the border of Kajiado, we have another university that is being built there, Kenya Advanced Institute of Science and Technology University. That university in Konza City here is being built by resources given to us, a soft loan given to us by South Korea. And they've given us a facility of 80 billion Kenya shillings to build the infrastructure, horizontal infrastructure in Konza, including the university in Konza. But just imagine South Korea, which is now giving us 80 billion, in 1963 was exactly the same as Kenya. We had the same GDP. In fact, our GDP per capita was 80. The one of South Korea was 79. The same level of education. We had the same agricultural economy. Today, South Korea's economy is 20 times that of Kenya. And they have lent us money to build the university and the infrastructure in concert. We need to ask us some questions. The difference, where did South Korea get it right? And where did we get it wrong? That's the question we need to ask ourselves as Kenyans. And we need a conversation. We need a conversation as the citizens of this country. Because for far too long, and I want to say this in this university, talking to you and talking to my countrymen and women, the people of Kenya, for far too long, we have made peace with the usual, the ordinary, the simple, the average. When other people are doing things differently, it is time. Fellow Kenyans, it is time. Fellow citizens, it is time for us to up our game, for us to raise the standard, for us to raise our ambition so that we begin to engage with the transformational, the innovative, and the extraordinary. We have been ordinary for far too long. And I am persuaded, beyond any reasonable doubt, that the restlessness we see in our young people, the passion that I saw in the eyes of Nura and Mwenda here, and Zainab, and all the other students, the urgency is because they are tired of the ordinary and the simple and the average and the usual. They want us to up our game. The difference between South Korea and us is one. It's not about resources, because they had the same resources as we do. It's not about money. They didn't have money the way we didn't have money. It's about leadership. That's the difference, leadership. So it's not about the people of Kenya. It's about us, the leaders, the people who have the opportunity to make decisions for the people of Kenya. What decisions are we making? That is what is important. Many of us want to make peace with little decisions, ordinary, average decisions, politically correct, and things like those. And that is why we cannot account for why others are where they are and we are where we are. So we must continue to push the limits. We've made good progress with our transformation of agriculture, with our transformation in education, with our transformation in health. We've made good progress with our affordable housing and markets and hostels, but that's just the foundation. We need to up our game. That is my belief. And we have what it takes. We have what it takes. This nation has what it takes. We have the human capital. We have the knowledge and ideas and passion. And that is why I have been leading from the front. against all odds, very difficult circumstances. But slowly, people are beginning to appreciate that our economy is doing better. Inflation has come down. Our exchange rate has come down. Our dollar reserves have gone up. Our universities are doing better. We have more teachers in classrooms. Our food security is much more stable. We're beginning to get it right, but it is not enough. That is why we need to up our game. We need to be more creative and innovative. We need to do more on transformation so that we can do things in a different way and achieve the extraordinary. As government, we remain steadfast in supporting institutions of higher learning to ensure every young Kenyan has the chance to achieve their full potential. And I wish you well as the student fraternity and the entire Umma University as you pursue not the ordinary, not the simple, not the usual, not the average, as you pursue excellence. Thank you very much, and God bless you.